Hey there, Gemini. Welcome to your reading for the week of May 5th. This week, we are going to jump right in here. You have the strategy card. It says, plan, scheme, strategize your future, and take the next right actions for your life. You have this Scorpio card. It says, the underworld, awaken your inner witch to maximize your potential and connect to the universal energies. So two cards that kind of would both represent going deep on something as well here, Gemini. Like Scorpio is the underworld, or looking under things and getting deep, and the strategy card is also very similar. So I feel that this could be about like coming up with a strategy on how you're going to accomplish whatever you're trying to accomplish at this time. It makes sense to me that you have the Ten of Swords as well. I think that a lot of Gemini people could be seeing like how things are not working. And that's literally what's popping into my head. Now, is this a bad thing? Hell no, because it's going to let you fix things and to make them work. And I also have a question popping into my head here, Gemini, which is what kind of person do I need to be? And I think that would be a great question for you to ask yourself here with this reading and everything coming up here. It's kind of like, there are things that you clearly want. Everybody has things that they want. And I feel the Ten of Swords is kind of saying, you can have those things, but certain things need to die in your life. Certain things need to undergo a transformation and need to change. I do feel pretty deep about this as well, because I feel like you are kind of looking at some past situations and seeing how they were a blessing. The Ten of Swords can be a blessing in disguise. And so but it's more like, I don't necessarily think that you're receiving a blessing, and I definitely don't think whatever you're thinking about here was a blessing, but I'm just saying, like, I feel that you could be kind of, seeing how some things, multiple things probably, that didn't work out for you was actually for the best, and you're starting to understand that, I feel. You show up here with the Queen of Swords, so definitely could be you showing up. Whenever you show up as yourself in a reading, it kind of puts you in a position of power and strength and allows you to get what you want from the reading. The Queen of Swords, she sees clearly for the first time. She only has clouds halfway up her body. And so I feel you could be seeing very clearly like why something happened in your past, or why it's like, really, it feels like multiple things, Gemini. It doesn't feel like one thing or the other. I feel like you could be looking at a lot of situations, or you could be looking at just a lot in general, and I kind of feel like that's what you're doing here with the Queen of Swords. And again, you could be seeing like why things happened. You have the Page of Cups. Page of Cups can be an admirer or a person coming in for you. So if you want love, definitely could be love coming in for you here with the Page of Cups. My only problem is we have the King and Queen of Swords here. I'm not the biggest fan of the King and Queen of Swords, because they are just two people who don't see eye to eye. Now, one thing I will tell you, Gemini, is that I do prefer the Queen coming up first, because she would be reaching out to the King of Swords, if that makes sense. If she shows up over here, then her back is to the King, and he is looking forward. He's not even looking at her, right? And so I do think that it is more positive, as ridiculous as that may sound. Now, I kind of feel that this is just a person that you're not talking to yet. So for those of you looking for love, it looks to me like the reason you're both showing up as the King and Queen of Swords is because you are just not talking to this person yet. Maybe you haven't even met him yet, right? So that's kind of popping into my head. But let's see. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Justice card. Yes, definitely blessings in disguise. I hesitate to call it blessings. This doesn't, like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It doesn't feel like a blessing to me. It feels more like a realization, where you're just accepting something. Which I know that doesn't sound exciting, and basically it isn't, but, I feel that, really, you could just be saying to yourself, like, well, I'm glad that relationship in the past didn't work out. I'm glad that other thing that I thought I wanted didn't work out, and now it's, like, allowing you to move forward. So, that's kind of more of the feeling I get with that energy. With the Queen of Swords, you have the Seven of Cups. I feel that you could be doing a lot of dreaming at this time here, Gemini. Seven of Cups is imagination and being spoiled for choice. The other thing is that you really could be seeing how many, like, that you have more options in life, which I also think would be great with the Seven of Cups. Next, with the Page of Cups, you have the Three of Cups. I would be careful of a past person here with the King and Queen of Swords showing up. Ten of Swords, especially if it was a person that stabbed you in your back. And you have the Judgment card at the end, right? This could be like a past person trying to communicate or wanting to communicate with you. Not telling you what to do, but, I would be careful. Although, I will say that you have the Judgment card coming up in the good stuff. So, it still could be positive. But, the other thing is that the Three of Cups is kind of a card of your community. So if you want love, I would definitely get out into the community and meet new people. It's also a card of celebrating a harvest, and I do kind of get that feeling from this reading. You have the King of Pentacles showing up here. Now, the thing about the King of Pentacles is he has these grapes on his cloak, and grapes in the tarot represent something that requires specific skills to grow. You are a Gemini. Every Gemini I know has random ass skills. So I would be using your skills. The King of Pentacles is just sitting down. He's not using those skills. I almost feel intuitively that this Three of Cups is saying that you are like, I feel like I've said this to you before. It's like, I'm not encouraging you to work hard or anything, because I think this is a year of efficiency. This year and next year. We shouldn't just work hard. We should be focusing on efficiency, which could involve hard work, but it doesn't have to, right? There are efficient ways to do everything that don't require hard work, so we have to pay attention. But what I would say is that there are clear, like, maybe what I was gonna say is that you're really only at like 40% here is what I'm getting. Like, I feel that especially those of you that are working on a project or wanting to work on a specific project, it's like if you would give it that extra 60% and go all in on something, I feel that is where the celebration is going to come from. So I feel this is encouraging you to like go all in, especially if it's a project, right? Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this card that says, let your inner child run forth. You also have this emotions or reflections card. It says, look for deeper meaning. Scorpio showing up in your reading, right? So Gemini, this is encouraging you to look deeper at something and to go deeper and to look at your emotions. Funny enough, you have the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups really values her emotions. She really values how she feels. Not everybody else, but her. She has this big cup in front of her. I always say this cup, it doesn't look like a cup, it looks like a trophy. And so it kind of represents that she really values how she feels about things, and that's what she listens to herself, not other people. So I feel that will be important. The other funny thing is here, Gemini, is that personally, I have always read Queen of Cups as Scorpio. Most people read her as Cancer, and there are some people that read her as Scorpio. Even in the Golden Tarot, the Cat Black version, there's a scorpion on the Queen of Cups. So I've always read her as Scorpio, but I kind of feel this is saying, like, go deep into your feelings. Look for deeper meaning to things, right? And that's what I would do with that Queen of Cups. You have the Five of Swords. I don't know. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I feel like this is some sort of mess in your life, or something that is very messy that could have been in your life. I feel like it's good, bad, because it feels to me like this is something that you wanted in your life, but that has already died. Ten of Swords, right? This could be like a past person that you thought you would be with, or a past situation. But with the Queen of Swords looking over, she's looking over to this Five of Swords. I feel like you are finally like understanding what a mess this would have been. I feel very tongue-tied here on this part of the reading. I feel like this is something that's hard for you to even get out, right? And so I feel like you are seeing that this would have been an absolute disaster, right, in the first place. And now you're like moving forward. You have the King of Swords. I kind of do feel like this is a new person. You also have the King of Pentacles. So I'm wondering if this person is actually a King of Pentacles, but right now they seem like a King of Swords, right? Or, again, maybe you don't even know who this person is yet. So that could be why they're showing up as the King of Swords as well. But I do feel this could be a person. It would be like a very wise person. King of Swords has knowledge and wisdom. So he not only knows things, but he has taken what he knows and he puts it into practice to create the wisdom. And so a lot of you, could be a person like that. I also feel that we are in a time of knowledge and wisdom where we have to take what we know and prove it, right? We have to put it into practice. We have to live what we say. And if we do that, we will be very successful. Again, this is like a little bit of a cheat code for Pluto and Aquarius. We have Pluto and Aquarius for, 20 years, basically, 19 more years, whatever it is. And so starting now for the next 20 years, I would be doing things to make sure that you are living your own truth. If you believe something, like, do it, right? And see what happens. With the Queen of Cups, you have the Queen of Swords again. So this could actually just say that you are going deeper on things that you believe or things that you know. I do feel this a lot for Gemini. It's like you are here. It's like there is a person that exists over here that's also you. And it's like the future you. Remember what I said at the beginning of the reading? It's like, who do you have to be this person, to be the shining light, or the big thing that you're feeling motivated to do? It's like, that's really what I get for Gemini. I feel like there are things that you want to accomplish that will turn you into a certain type of person. And it's like, if you could just see that and like adopt those habits now, I feel like you'll get there before you know it. With the Five of Swords, you have the Strength card. Yeah, I feel like you have to have the strength to be very careful here, Gemini. Number one, literally. I don't know. It's like sometimes you meet a person who has all the right moves. They know all the spots. They know all your secret desires. They know all the right words, right? And it can be, we've all been there, right? We've all sometimes you end up in the room with a person, clothes come off, you accidentally do like a somersault into the bed, things happen. We've all made mistakes, right? I feel like this is saying, don't let one of those mistakes happen. Don't get we've all been there, Gemini. You have a moment of weakness, someone catches you on the right day, and before you know it, you end up in bed with the person, right? I would be careful, especially if it's like a past person. I feel like the Strength card is saying you need to have the strength to say, no, not today, Satan, right? That's what you need to say with that Strength card. With the King of Swords, you have the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles and King of... This is good right here. King of Pentacles might not be as initially exciting, but that's not always a bad thing, number one. Because sometimes excitement really, I think, is anxiety, right? It's like sometimes this type of person, it's like, yeah, they know all the secret spots and everything, but it's like, do they really make you anxious? It's like, yeah, maybe they know all these things, but whatever, all your weird things that you like, right? And... But also, maybe they have 7 other girlfriends at the same exact time, right? And that is what I would avoid. This right here, it's like maybe this person here will have to learn, but they will. So if you're worried about finding a person, like I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say, Gemini, because I just don't. But I feel that for some of you, it's kind of like, sometimes I think we meet a person and we're like, wow, I will never meet a person like that again. But I feel like this reading is saying, no, that's not true. This person is very close. Maybe they need some work, but they'll get there. But these two I look at as great divine counterparts. They're very, they both want to work towards the same things. They both want success. So I definitely feel this would be good for you, Gemini. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, this is a good question for you as well. It says, are you in the driver's seat with your debt, or has your debt taken over and placed you in shackles? Definitely would watch your spending, but I think the question here is, are you in the driver's seat? That's it. I don't think this, some of you, sure, it could be debt, but I feel like this is everything in your life. It's like saying you need to get into the driver's seat. Remember what I was saying, like 40%, 60%. It's like, I think you're like 40% of the way to something, but there's that 60% that maybe scares you a little bit, or that 60% of needing to commit to something daily for your business to make it work. And that's what I would be looking at here. You have this closed-minded card. It says, sometimes you fail to see the infinite possibilities and opportunities that are available to you. Again, that's not really what I feel for you here. Gemini does see all the infinite possibilities, number one. What I feel like this is saying is that it's almost like you're not seeing what something could lead to. It's like sometimes I think we do something and we don't realize that like what we learn while we're doing it leads to something else much bigger. And, I kind of feel that could be going on for you. So it's like you might be working on a project, business, an idea. You might be learning something. And I feel what you need to realize is like how beneficial it's going to be for you in like other areas of your life. And that's what I feel this is saying. You have the Temperance card, the Two of Wands, and the King of Pentacles. Temperance is like turning one thing into another. It's a card of alchemy. Really, I think Gemini is a master alchemist in some ways. It's like maybe other astrologers wouldn't say that, but I think Gemini is really good at, taking two ideas and mixing them together and coming up with some crazy ass idea that's never been seen before. So whatever you're working on or whatever you're doing, like, don't be afraid to inject a little bit of your Gemini superpower there and, find other ways of doing things. The Temperance card is also a card of patience, but, I feel you have been patient. I feel like you have been waiting for things, and, things are coming in. You have the Two of Wands. Yeah, it's like you need to go get new ingredients, right? It's like, imagine if you grew up and you only ever put salt and pepper on your food, right? That was it. And then it's like that, and that's all you knew. That wouldn't be very exciting. But if you took a trip to Morocco, you would have a billion spices now, all of a sudden, that you would try and you could add to your food, right? That is the Two of Wands. Two of Wands says you've been eating salt and pepper for too long. Things have gotten boring. You need to get out into the world and go have a new experience. You need to experience variety. I always say that is the solution to the Two of Wands, is variety. You have to experience new things, try new flavors of things, but this, that is just a metaphor, Gemini. So you have to do this in all areas of life, like work, business, love, money, spiritually, everything. There is a Morocco that exists for everything in your life, but you just have to go on the adventure to find it, and that's what you need to do here with the Two of Wands. You have the King of Pentacles. I like this for money, number one, because I feel that you could be stabilizing your finances with the King of Pentacles. Again, he has these grapes on his cloak, which says he needs to use his skills to be able to make money. And so there's probably, but he's sitting down. I don't know. Normally, I don't worry about that with the King of Pentacles. Normally, I'm just like, oh, he's, working. But for whatever reason, I feel that there could be something that you could do where it's like, but it's almost like you need to flex. I kind of was flexing earlier as well. So it's like there's like a flex that needs to happen here where you need to like put your skills on display, or you need to, put something out into the world and like show the world what you're made of. Like there's like an action that needs to happen with him, and I really feel it. With the Temperance card, you have the Hermit. Temperance with the Hermit is like, am I ready to show off? Yes, you are. So the Hermit is stuck in isolation. Some people believe that his feet are frozen at the top of this mountain. Even one of my favorite books about tarot, Fearless Tarot by Eliot, he says that in that book that the Hermit could put this lantern down by his feet and he would be able to start moving forward because it would thaw out his feet. And that lantern is his inner light. He needs to shine his light to the world to be set free. And so I really feel that with the King of Pentacles, that, there's like some sort of skill you have that if you used it, it would probably set you free. With the Two of Wands, you have the Ace of Pentacles. Here's your ticket to Morocco. Someone is coming in with a ticket for you to go somewhere. Could be like an opportunity. I'm speaking metaphorically here. This could be an opportunity. It could be a boss who wants to give you a raise or a promotion. It could be a boss who's like, I want to send you to Morocco so you can learn something, right? It could be, who the hell knows what it is, but I would definitely accept any big opportunities that come your way. Can't make this one up. With the King of Pentacles, you have Lovers. I was definitely getting new love on that King of Pentacles. That's why I talked about it so much. So there you go. Definitely could be a solid lover that's coming in for you here. I feel like this person needs to learn. I don't know why I feel like I need to talk about this, but I feel maybe it's because it's like, it's like, what am I trying to say here, Gemini? I don't know. I'm trying to organize it in my head so I can keep it PG so that YouTube, the 3-year-olds that run YouTube don't like strike my channel here. But it's like, maybe it's not very exciting if you catch my drift. I'm talking about something that I can't talk about. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, ask your mom when you get older. But I would say that maybe it's not very exciting the first time. But, sometimes people are nervous. They have performance anxiety, something like that. I don't know. I wouldn't judge them based off the first time. And this might be months down the road. I'm not saying that you're going to be putting out tomorrow, right? But I would just say, like, when you do. Just first time is always not fair, right? There you go. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Take the Risk card and this Accept Responsibility card. Oh, the Accept Responsibility card makes sense, Gemini. with the whole like 40%, 60%. It's like maybe you're really giving something only 40%. I'm not calling you lazy, or I'm not trying to say that you're not doing a good job or anything like that. The other way to look at it, Gemini, is that sometimes it's like we are only giving 40% because we're doing the wrong things, right? We're not focusing on the right things. A lot, I work with a lot of people on YouTube on the weekends. I teach YouTube, and a lot of times people tell me I'm doing everything that works, but it's not working. But then when I go and I look at what they're doing, they're not doing anything that works. And again, I'm not criticizing those people either. I'm just saying, like, sometimes you just need external eyes to look at what you're doing to say, like, actually, you're not focusing on what's working here. You're doing the wrong things, right? And I kind of feel that's what this accept responsibility card is saying. And again, not a bad thing, because if you go and look for the knowledge or a person to teach you or a person to help you, then I think you'll be fine. This doesn't even have to cost money, right? You can research anything for free on YouTube. You can learn everything on YouTube for free, basically, right? So that's what I would do here. The take the risk card could be in love. You could be taking a risk on a new person. Again, I get this feeling for Gemini. Sorry that I'm spending so much time on this, but, I don't shoot the messenger. I can't help the messages I get, and this is clearly important for someone, right? I just get this feeling of, like, being attached to a past person still. I'm not saying you would go back to this person, but some of you, it's like, sometimes you meet a person, like I said, that's very attractive or whatever, and they're hard to let go of. And you could be thinking to yourself, I'm never going to find that again. But I feel like if you would give that King of Pentacles a chance, that could be the risk you're taking, that you would be very happy. You have the Hierophant, which is marriage. You have the Ten of Cups, which is also happy family. So again, you could be attracting something very good. The Hierophant can also represent blessings, and especially with the Ten of Cups, because the Ten of Cups is fortune after difficulty. So there definitely could be like some sort of blessing or just blessings in general coming in for you here that will make you very happy. You have the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups, like I said, is like fortune after difficulty. It can represent happy home, happy family. So I feel that there could be a lot of happiness coming in for you. I really like the Ten of Cups in the good stuff because it's a lot better, a lot better than if it shows up in the rest of the reading. Ten of Cups is pretty much always a good card, but it can represent a little bit of fantasy, not looking at the reality of a situation, but in the good stuff, it kind of says that there are just blessings or there is fortune after difficulty coming in for you. You have the Judgment card. I definitely feel like you're having a wake-up call this week. I feel that really for a lot of you, it could be what works in your life. Again, if you're struggling in work or business, there could be a person who points something out to you and is like, oh, you're doing this when you should be doing that, And I kind of get that feeling on the Judgment card for sure. The Judgment card is also about leaving your old life behind. And so sometimes we have to, these people are being called out of the coffin. So sometimes we have to let go of the old life and step into the new life, which is what the Judgment card wants us to do, Gemini. And if you do that, you will be more successful. With the Hierophant, you have the Hangman. Hangman is about gaining new perspectives. I'm pretty sure I said this to you in like your last reading, but looking at those opposite perspectives is going to be very, very beneficial for you, Gemini. Like, trying things, experimenting with things. Again, Pluto and Aquarius. With Pluto and Aquarius, I would be experimenting like crazy. Look at my channel. You can see all the experiments I've been running for years. There's a reason why I do this. I hate when people say, do as I say, not as I do. I do it. So, again, you should do it too. If I can do it, you can do it as well. So, I would be experimenting, trying new things, trying different ideas, seeing what happens. With the Ten of Cups, you have the Death card. I do feel like there's a change in your vision here with the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is like what you think your fantasy is. And the Death card would say that maybe your true fantasy is undergoing a transformation, which is probably a good thing. It's probably going to get you closer to your heart with that Queen of Cups, It's like sometimes we think we want something, but, when we realize what goes along with that, then we don't. Using the example of you have the past person who has 7 girlfriends, it's like maybe you think you want that person, but it's like really that person who also has 7 other people. It's like, is that really what you want? It probably not. And so I'm not saying that's the fantasy that's dying here. And I don't even think this is a bad thing. I think this is going to be good because this would be you clarifying your vision. We have the Queen of Swords right here, all the way over. Those 10 cups exist above those people's heads on the 10 of Cups. So they're having to decide like what their fantasy is. With the Judgment card, you have the Empress. I mean, I wish the reading just started with the Empress because, now I realize what this reading is. It's all about you, Gemini. It's like, yeah, sure, there's love here and all this other stuff, but Empress is like self-care. She really takes care of herself. She takes care of her own needs first as well, which is going to be very important, especially moving forward. Neptune in Aries, Pluto in Aquarius. I mean, it's like, I see this astrology. I mean, I've been talking about this stuff for years. And people always say, you always repeat yourself with the astrology. And I'm like, well, then why aren't you doing it yet? Number one. Number two, it's like critically important. I'm not even trying to be clickbaity here. It's like, if you don't do this, you're going to have a hard time. So you need to practice self-care. You need to get in touch with your inner child, as this card said right here. And you need to figure out what will bring you fulfillment on your own. And when you do that, then you will glow like the Empress, and you will attract good things and good people and good lovers and all that other stuff. So, really, it all comes back to you and what you believe. That's the other thing. I mean, I've been talking about this for years. That the whole Pluto, Neptune moving into Aries, which is like extremism, and literally, I've been talking about this for years. And that extremism could be like extreme beliefs that people have and things like that. And we need to make sure that we are very independent at this time and listening to our heart, because the problem with Pluto or Neptune in Aries, is that people will be looking for a savior. People are going to be looking for a person who has all the answers. But what people are going to realize is that only you have the answers. It's your life. It's not someone else's. You have this hills card. It says obstacles to overcome. They're hills. They're not mountains. Don't turn molehills into mountains, whatever it is. There you go. You have this August card in this elephant. You can't make this up. It says a long journey, either physical or mental, will leave you wiser at the end. Morocco. Say yes to going to Morocco here, Gemini. It's like, I feel like there could be some sort of, it could literally be an adventure. Someone out there could literally be going to Morocco because I said it. But this could be more figurative. It's like, maybe you're having to learn a new skill, or you're having to learn something new. That is an adventure. Maybe you are traveling. Maybe your boss wants to send you to a conference somewhere or whatever. It's like the variety with that Two of Wands is the thing that is going to make you successful. You have this rabbit. It says, too much concern with sexual matters, cannot make it up. I was literally talking about this. So I would be very careful of any little rabbits that you have in your life. I'm sure you all know that one person. I guarantee it. You probably can say his name right now. It's probably Joe or Dave, if I had to guess. But, you never know. Or it might be something edgy like Xavier or something like that. But, I would be careful of that rabbit in your life. You have this money path card. It says, a path with money is waiting for you to find it. Yes, I can see the universe in my head tapping its foot, just saying, like, is Gemini going to mix together their skills right now and use a skill to get to be successful or not? And so I would be getting to work here. And this could also be something where it's like the 40-60% thing that we were talking about. It's like, I kind of feel Gemini, as usual, probably has two things going on right now. It's like, one is an old thing, one is a new thing. The new thing is where it's at. You have this man card. It says, dealings with relationships with a man. Then you have this turkey. It says, someone is behaving stupidly. Yes, I would be very careful of this past person, whatever their name is. Doesn't matter. Could also be a Peter. I don't know. But I would be very careful. There you go. This looks good. Other than that little thing. But thank you for being here. Thank you for putting up with me. And definitely enjoy your week.